What's up, SNA fans? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video. And yeah, this is my daily wrestling news video on April 15th, 2024. I hope y'all having a great Monday afternoon, by the way. And I'm going to be talking about the wildest wrestling news stories and rumors that you SNA fans need to know from the Wrestling Inc. article. And sit back and relax and watch until the very end because it's going to get very, very, very interesting on wrestling news. We're going to be starting off on today's wrestling news with some backstage reports on the 2024 WWE draft, and we got some big news now, like on who could possibly be moving over to Raw or SmackDown, like trading or staying, or even call-ups from NXT. And we're going to say the dust around WWE WrestleMania 40 has finally settled, and the company is now set to turn its attention to freshening up the roster with the annual WWE draft beginning on April 26th on the WWE SmackDown, and including on April 29th on WWE Raw. It seems as if all three of WWE's brands will be getting some shakeup in this year's draft, with a report renewed focus on WWE NXT in particular. Sources close to NXT's creative process told Fightful Select that there's a push to make it more of a third main roster brand, similar to how things were before the COVID-19 pandemic, when NXT was also included in the brand warfare in the brand warfare storyline at Survivor Series 2019. This means that there is a strong chance that main roster talent can be drafted over to NXT in the upcoming draft, with Fightful reporting that appearances from Ivar in the Final Testament are examples of how stars from Raw and SmackDown are likely to make Tuesday nights their new home. NXT names that have been thrown around as those who will be leaving the brand, including the likes of Ilya Dragunov, Carmelo Hayes, who are reportedly seen as locks from a roster call up, the likes of Roxanne Perez, Baron Corbin, and Tony D'Angelo, and the rest of the family have also been discussed as potential draftees. However, Shawn Michaels has apparently told several talents he doesn't know who will be called up. NXT will reportedly have a draft, a heavy focus on the upcoming spring breaking, the spring breaking episode of the show on April 23rd and the 30th, respectively, with the roster being more or less finalized by Battleground, which takes place on June 9th. And it says right here, SmackDown will move from Fox back over to the USA Network this October, and NXT will be also moving from USA to the W in October. While Raw will begin its new era on Netflix at the beginning of 2025. While USA will uh, also able to have some input like on who appears on SmackDown. The CW and Netflix have the chance to try and secure like some big stars for the launch dates if they choose to. However, Fightful was told by one WWE source that Raw's debut on Netflix is closer to the 2025 draft than than the 2024 one. Like one mean like that they won't be worried about what the rosters look like for a look like a little while. uh, SmackDown and NXT will both be moving to Netflix in 2025 for fans in the United Kingdom, in Latin America, Canada, and various other markets at the same time as Raw's move. Still, there there had there has been no word on whether that it will impact any of the movement like in this year's draft, or whether the rules like may become relaxed at the turn of the new year. And what are your thoughts on the draft, like on who could possibly be drafted over to Raw or SmackDown from the NXT roster? Like, what if it's a Roxanne Perez or Carmelo Hayes, Ilya Dragunov, Tony D'Angelo, like any of those names? Like, who do you think's gonna be making that move over to Raw or SmackDown, like sooner rather than later? Like on the April 26th edition of SmackDown and the April 29th edition. Let me know all about that in the comments down below. And let's move on to the next slide and talk about the next news. And yeah, what are your thoughts on Monday Night Raw moving to Netflix? Do you think it's gonna be as soon as like the first Monday of January, or do you think it's gonna be later? Which it did say it's going to move to January 2025 specifically. So that means it has to be the first Monday, which that'll be on the 7th, I believe. If I don't know, the 6th. I think it's going to be January 6th, 2020. January 6th, 2025. Yeah, if I got it correctly. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below on what's your thoughts onto that matter. And let's move on to the next wrestling news. We got some backstage update on Matt Riddle, like and status of Matt Riddle's status, like amid the New Japan Pro Wrestling exit rumors. Matt Riddle's reign as the New Japan Pro Wrestling World Television Championship ended like on his championship reign, I should say. My apologies. The television championship reign ended on April 12th when he was defeated by Zack Sabre Jr. at the Windy City Riot pay-per-view in Chicago. But what Riddle did after the match and had people talking rather than selling the defeat. Riddle quickly exited the ring and returned up to the entrant ramp, high-fiving fans along the way and making it seem like something something nothing had happened. This has sparked rumors that Riddle's tenure with the company has ended, despite only getting started with the company in January when he challenged Hiroshi Tanahashi a match for the new beginning in the Sarpiro event. According to Dave Meltzer, while speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, these rumors are merely that. Like Meltzer claimed that Riddle is not finished with NJPW and has upcoming dates with the company in the near future, with his dropping the belt simply being a decision made by New Japan Pro Wrestling to crown a new champion. Riddle has previously stated that he has a he has he has a working visa that will allow him to travel to Japan throughout 2024. But his next appearance for the company has yet to be confirmed. He was reportedly slated to be a part of the lineup for the 2024 New Japan Cup, that took place earlier this year, but he was omitted from the tournament for undisclosed reasons. Riddle will continue to work for Major League Wrestling outside of the bookings for NJPW, with MLW being the place where he made his two defenses of the New Japan Pro Wrestling World Television Championship against bad dude Tito, and Kosai Fujita. But what are your thoughts on Matt Riddle's reason why he dropped the New Japan TV Championship? And what do you think about that? Let me know in the comments down below. And do you think that it was New Japan's decision rather than him leaving the Japanese-based company? And I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, that's way too soon. For him to leave, but only just being there for only 3 months. And he only got in the ring a month after he made his New Japan debut in defeating Hiroshi Tanahashi for the New Japan for the NJPW World TV Championship. But he barely held that title for 2 months. Sounds similar to another particular former WWE wrestler, except this person was in the women's division, how their title reign was. But it was more of a world championship, even though the TV championship is kind of like a world championship, but it's rather than a mid-card kind of world championship. But yeah, you get what I'm trying to say. But anyways, and what do you think was next for the original bro in NJPW? If him exiting the company is not the case at this point. Yeah, let me know right down in the comments below. But let's move on to the next news, and we got some. We got some WWE Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels news now, as Name's dream opponent for one more WrestleMania match. A long time has passed since Shawn Michaels hung up his wrestling boots with the Heartbreak Kid currently serving like as a senior vice president of talent development, creative overseeing the creative aspect of WWE NXT. Shawn Michaels ended his full-time career after failing to break the Undertaker's streak at WrestleMania 26 in 2010, and there have been many would be dream matches like floating like in either ever I mean in floating in the other since then I should say either other ever since floating in the ether like ever since. That's what it. But while speaking to gorilla position, Shawn Michaels like was asked which dream opponent like he picked like for a final comeback bout at WrestleMania. And Shawn Michaels said this in response. I think the one we really want to see in me and AJ, he said. I think AJ and I can get similar styles, like and stuff like that. So I always feel like that would be one people would want to see. So I can think that would be my go to in this particular moment. Styles and Michaels like were rumored for a bout like against one another at the Royal Rumble at the Royal Rumble event in 2017, like with Styles debuting in the 2016 Royal Rumble match, like and capturing his first ever WWE championship. Like last like later that year, like it turned out those rumors were substained, like and although both Styles and Michaels like had previously commented on the prospect of facing one another. Styles instead faced John Cena for the WWE title at the event with Cena with that act like was equaling Ric Flair's record of 16 world title reigns, while Michaels would eventually come out of retirement like for one shot tag team alongside his longtime best friend Triple H against The Undertaker and Kane at Crown Jewel 2018 in Saudi Arabia. And what are your thoughts on Shawn? What are your thoughts on Shawn Michaels' comments about? I mean, what not comment? Like more likely his answer of who could he possibly be in the ring at the Showcase of the Immortals for one final time, and hanging and lacing his boots and putting on his Heartbreak Kid pants back on. More likely his band tuning pants on, like for him to tune up the band. Do you want to see Shawn Michaels have that match against AJ Styles for and have one more match? I'll say yeah, more likely one on. And do you think that he should have one more match? Like, and he has one more match left in him? And do you think he should fight AJ Styles at the Showcase of the Immortal to have one final match, so he can rise into the sunset? And if so, like, who thinks should win the match? Which most of y'all would say the Heartbreak Kid, of course. But do you think he's more like? Do you think he'll be in ring shape by the time before when there's any other next WrestleManias that's going to be coming up anytime soon? Let me know all about that in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what would be your opinion onto this matter. But yeah, that's one thing WWE shows in this company: never say never. Especially like if your body continues to say that you're still active and you still want to do this, despite what any doctor would say in that office. Like if you still think that you can one final run in you, like especially if you're even if you're in even if you're in your 60s, and that's one thing that Sting taught us. Like like age is not the thing. Like it's all about the passion and the motivation and the what's that word they use that I should use the other word I was say maybe the dedication, but there's another word for it. But yeah, like that's the one that's the thing that Sting taught us about that. Like when you want to have a career and if you want to do it for a long time, you can. Like and there's no injury, no doctor, no excuses that could stop you from doing otherwise. But but yeah, yeah, let me know in the comments down below if we're going to finally see this dream match between AJ Styles and Shawn Michaels at the grandest stage of them all. And do you think it will be next year or do you think it will probably be in the next couple of years? And when do you think that will be? Like, yeah, let me know in the comments down below on what your thoughts onto the matter. But yeah, let's move on to the next wrestling news. We got some. But I think, yeah, we could see this match. And why would Shawn Michaels even mention that? Like, if he's not going to have one more match, like, why would he? He would say, like, he was like, I'm not going back in that ring for another WrestleMania. Like, it was perfect enough how it ended with The Undertaker. But he just said it immediately, like, after, like, he was asked this question, and he was like, yeah, like I have to pick one. Like I have to be AJ. Like he has some similarities of style. Like, and no pun intended to his wrestling last name, he he seems like a kind of guy that I could keep up in the ring and to like what and be in a match that we all want to see. Basically, that's what the Heartbreak Kid said onto this interview. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not sure if they're gonna have a dream match or not. Let's just keep our fingers crossed. Like, if that'll be the case, and then wait and see. Like, if it's gonna be in 2025, 2026 to see the Heartbreak Kid in the ring with the Phenomenal One. But anyways, let's go to the let's move on. We got some Freddie Prinze Jr. news now as he gets candid like about Triple H era of WWE. Which man, Triple H need to hire this guy to be the head writer again. Except this time in the Triple H era, not in the ruthless aggression and modern PG era. But anyways, it wasn't clear before WWE WrestleMania 40 that the company was in the new era. McMahon going as far as to declare that the promotion had entered into the new Paul Levesque era, which is the real name of Triple H, of course, for those that are unaware. But anyways, looking back on the show while speaking like on his podcast, like Wrestling with Freddie, like the actor and former WWE writer, like Freddie Prinze Jr., shared his thoughts on the company's current on-screen product. He said, "Everything's changing. It's literally the Triple H era. We've really seen that over the last few weeks in the stories that they've been telling. Like everybody's getting a story now that has not always been the case. All right, a Gargano del Fantasma, and and LWO would just be having matches. They wouldn't be getting what's that the like this des de what's that design the designation. I mean, that designated backstage segments. They don't get that much designating backstage segments where they're talking about the reason why they're fighting. Additionally, Prince believes there has been more meaningful what's that repress of the representation like on screen with Japanese and Latin American wrestlers like getting more TV time and the ability like to speak their their primary languages. I kind of noticed that, like with Legado del Fantasma and Shinsuke Nakamura on Raw and SmackDown, respectively, like with them having their own segments, more TV time, and even the speaking in their own language, their respective language, and yes, not to be funny, Japanese and Spanish, yeah. Like in back when they were in the main roster before Triple H even was taking control of head of creative, like you wouldn't really see much of them doing all this, like of making it more like legitimately what's that? Make it more like if they mean so much to the company, like they did not mean like much as they do now, like with them getting some TV time. Like what if it's the like being in the ring wrestling or even backstage in the segment on the reason why they're targeting their respective opponents, like what Freddie Prinze Jr. did, an example with Legado del Fantasma and the LWO. Yeah, which I would agree with him on that. And perhaps but then again, he's doing pretty well on in with him acting in the movies that he's been in, and he's been in the most recent one he's been on was on Netflix, because I should know, I watched a couple of them. I just like with family, but yeah. But if he ever get a job as a wrestling writer, I think he should go to WWE. Maybe he could go to AEW, but either way, like hopefully, like one of these companies do, like so we could see more very great booking. I mean, great what's that story that he possibly can think of right now on like what angles should be doing this and what angles should be doing that, and what matches should be booked like, and whatever the case may be. Yeah. Excuse me, but my bad. Yeah, let me. But anyways, yeah, this is where like the former WWE writer feels Levesque is firing on all what's that cylinders, like except in one notable way. With but yeah, this or no, I no, there's nothing else for him to say. There's nothing else there. The only is like where they've yeah, oh, there it is right here. Yeah, Pretty Prince Jr. said this right here while continuing talking about the product. Like I'm talking about the new era of the Paul Levesque era, or the Renaissance era. That's what the name is. Like, which Cody Rhodes trademarked that term. But let's continue to talk about what Freddie Prinze had to say. Prince Jr. had to say about overall of the new era of the Stanford-based product. The only places where they've dropped the ball a little is on like getting talent. I think not getting Will Ospreay was a huge mistake. Well, not huge, but you get the point. But yeah, but outside of that, like man, I can't say enough good things about where wrestling is going. Prince then encouraged fans like from comparing the current on-screen happenings like to the Attitude Era in the '90s. Like instead the actor believes like today's I said discourage fans, then comparing the current on-screen happenings to the Attitude Era in the 1990s. Instead, the actor believes today's version of WWE should stand like on its own. One thing like that Prince believes this era does have like in common with the 1990s boom is that professional wrestling feels cool again. And do you think that wrestling feels cool again? And do you and what are your thoughts on the high praises, like except for not bringing in Will Ospreay to the company, like company? Like, let me know in the comments below about that. And yeah, and do you agree with Freddie Prinze Jr. about WWE? It's just unexplainably good right now in WWE, which most of y'all, like at least in the 90 percentages, would agree with me on this. Like for saying that, yeah, this version of WWE